students, how are you doing? Trust you're staying safe. Please do continue to stay safe. You're welcome once again to another online class. And today we're taking the second topic on our scheme, which is the review of verbs and adverbs. As you know, we have 8 parts of speech in English language, which are noun, pronoun, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, interjections, prepositions, and conjunction. But today our focus will be on verbs and adverbs, the review of verbs and adverbs. So before we continue with this class, there are basic and important things we expected to know at the end of this class, which leads us to our learning objective. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to define verbs and its form. You should also be able to define adverbs and state its types. You should be able to define verbs and its form at the end of this class. You should also be able to define adverbs and state its types. What is a verb? A verb is a word or group of words that denotes an action or a state of being. The action can be physical or mental. A verb is a word or group of words that denotes an action or a state of being. A simple definition of what a verb is that a verb is an action word or a doing word. Any kind of action word or doing word is a verb. The action can be physical, for example, writing, singing, or shouting. Writing is a physical action, also singing and shouting. It could also be mental, thinking, hoping, or expecting. When you think, the mental action and not a physical action. You can't see someone thinking, neither can you see someone hoping or expecting. There are 2 forms of verbs, which are regular verbs and irregular verbs. These are the 2 forms of verbs in English language. Regular verbs and irregular verbs. Moving on, regular verbs. What are regular verbs? Regular verbs form their past tense and past participle by adding d or ed and their present participle by adding ing. I'll go over this again. Regular verbs form their past tense and past participle by adding d or ed and their present participle by adding ing. We have a few examples here. We have the present tense, present participle, past tense, and the past participle. Under the present tense, the first word we have here is apologize. Apologize. Present participle becomes apologizing. Apologizing. Okay? So the E there is replaced with ing. E is replaced with ing. Apologize becomes what? Apologizing. That is the present participle of the present tense, apologize. So the past tense becomes apologize. Now the past tense here, the past tense is formed by adding just D. Okay? We can't add ed because apologize ends with an E. So we can only add D to this. So this is a regular verb. Regular verbs form their past tense, okay, and past participle by adding D or ed, and their present participle by adding ing. So in the past tense here we have apologize. So the D is added to make apologize a past tense. So it becomes apologize. The past participle is also apologize. Cheer. This is another word, cheering. The present participle is formed by adding ing. Now take note, this word cheer does not end with the letter E or a vowel. It does not end with the letter, so it ends with R, which is a consonant. So cheering, to form the past tense, it becomes cheered. Cheered. So ed is added, and the past participle is also cheered. Celebrate is the next word here. From the present participle, we have celebrating. So the E there changes to ing. Ing is added to celebrate. And we take out the E. Celebrating, the past tense becomes celebrated. Past participle also becomes celebrated. Moving on, irregular verbs. What are irregular verbs? Irregular verbs form their past tense and past participle differently. This form their past tense and past participle differently. So we have the present tense, the past participle, the past tense, and the past participle. Under the present tense, am is a verb. Am is a verb. So the present tense of this becomes being. Being. B-E-I-N-G. The past tense is was. Was. Past participle of this is being. B-E-E-N. Now there's a difference between B-E-I-N-G. So many English speakers make this mistake of confusing this present participle and this past participle. B-E-I-N-G and B-E-E-N-G. Now, B-E-I-N-G, being, is the present participle of am, while B-E-E-N is the past participle of have. So the next is are. The present participle of this is being. The past tense is were, and the past participle is being. Arise. Arise. We have arising. This is the present participle. Arose. Now let's take a good look at this. Arise, arose. You see, there's a clear difference between arise and arose. The past tense is formed differently. I changes to go, arise and arose. And the past participle is also formed differently. Arise becomes arisen. Bend is the next. Bending. D is changed completely to bend, so the past tense to T. Bend, bending, bent, and bent. The next is bite. Bite, biting, beat, and beaten. Moving on, this is the irregular verb chart. This is just a chart of the irregular verb. We have the past tense, the present tense, past tense, and the past participle. Be, which was said earlier, the past tense is was or were, and the past participle is be. Become, the past tense here is became, the past participle is become. Begin, the past tense of begin is began, while the past participle is begun. Blow, the past tense is blew, and the past participle is blown. Break, the past tense of break is broke, and the past participle is broken. Bring, the past tense of bring is brought, and the past participle is still brought. Build, the past tense of build is built, and the past participle is built. Burst, the past tense of burst is burst, and the past participle is also burst. Buy, the past tense of buy is bought, the past participle is also bought. Moving on to adverb. You know, today we have two parts of speech that we're considering today, which is we have verb and adverb. So adverb, what is an adverb? An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, and other adverbs, or another adverb. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjectives, and other adverbs. Now, some people just give this definition of an adverb is a word that modifies just a verb. No, that's very wrong. An adverb actually modifies three parts of speech. It modifies a verb, it modifies an adjective, and it also modifies another adverb. Now, here are examples of adverbs modifying adverb, adjective, and another adverb. The first is a verb. He drove slowly. He drove slowly. In this sentence, he drove slowly. What is the adverb in the sentence? Slowly is the adverb. Now the question is, how did he drive? He drove slowly. So what is this adverb modifying? What is this adverb modifying? It's modifying the verb in the sentence. The verb is drove. Okay? The verb is drove. So this is the verb, drove. He drove slowly. Slowly is the adverb. How did he drive is the question. He drove slowly. An adverb modifying an adjective. He drove a very fast car. He drove a very fast car. How fast was his car? Very. How fast was his car? So, very is an adverb. And very is an adverb of degree. Another adverb, she moved quite slowly down the hall. She moved quite slowly down the hall. She moved quite slowly. What is the adverb in the sentence? The major adverb here is quite slowly. So slowly is another adverb. So adverb is modifying another adverb. Quite and slowly. This is just a short, this is an adverb chart. Adverb modified. So adverb modifies verbs, it modifies adjectives, it also modifies other adverbs. It answers the questions when. When did the action take place? To what extent did the action take place? And another adverb also to what extent. It also answers the question under verb where, in what way, and to what extent. Now let's look at the first example here. When. I will call you tomorrow. I will call you tomorrow. So the adverb in this sentence is tomorrow. When will I call you? I will call you tomorrow. So what is the verb in this sentence? The verb in this sentence is call. To call, that is the verb in this sentence. An adverb modifying adjectives, to what extent? Ima is extremely tall. Ima is extremely tall. To what extent? How tall is Ima? That's the question. Ima is extremely tall. So extremely in this sentence is the adverb modifying the adjective tall. Ima is extremely tall. Extremely is the adverb modifying tall, which is the adjective. Other adverb, to what extent? She washed the glass dish very carefully. She washed the glass dish very carefully. So, very is an adverb here. Carefully is also an adverb. Moving on, verb modifying verbs. Another question, the answer is where. We played outside. Where did we play? We played outside. So in this sentence, outside is the adverb, modifying played, which is the verb. Also, he selfishly refused to share his toys. He selfishly refused to share his toys. The adverb in this sentence is selfishly. In what way? So this answers the question, in what way? He selfishly refused to share his toy. In what way? Okay? Refused is the verb in this sentence. To what extent? She frequently asks her parents for money. She frequently asks her parents for money. How often? This question answers how often or to what extent. So frequently in this sentence is the adverb and ask is the verb in the sentence. Now you might want to ask that are all words that end in ly adverbs? Are all words that end in ly adverbs? Because I know you must have been seeing extremely ly. You also saw carefully ly, selfishly ly, frequently ly, and you might want to ask are all words that end in ly adverbs? No. Though most ly words are adverbs, but not all words that end in ly are adverbs. So let's take for instance, multiply ends in ly. Multiply ends in ly, but it's a verb and not an adverb. Apply also is a verb, not an adverb, and all these words all end in ly, but they are not adverbs. We also have family. Family is a noun, and it ends in ly, but it isn't an adverb. Jelly is also a noun, but it ends in ly, and it's also not an adverb. Okay, moving on. Types of adverbs. Types of adverbs. Yeah, various types of adverbs. Today, let's look at the first, which is adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner describe how. How was an action done? How was an action carried out? It answers the question how. It describes how. For example, happily. She danced happily. Happily. easily, loudly, slowly. All this explains or describes how. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time describe when. When did the action occur? When did it happen? We have soon, now, then, since, already. Also, adverb of degree. Adverb of degree describe how much. For example, much, only, quite, very, rather, almost. Degree. How much? To what extent? Adverb of degree describe how much. Much, only, quite, very, rather, almost, etc. Adverbs of frequency describe how often. We have once, twice, again. Adverbs of interrogation. Where, why, when, and how. To have a quick recap of what I've been talking about so far, today we're treating the topic review of verbs and adverbs. This is the second topic on our scheme. And I said that at the end of the lesson, you should be able to define the verb and state its forms. Define adverb and state its types. And I told you what an adverb is. I told you what a verb is. A verb is a word or group of words that denotes an action or a state of being. It could also be said to be that a verb is an action word or a doing word. The action can be physical. For example, write, sing, or shout, or mental, think, hope, or expect. I said there are two forms of verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs form their past tense and past participle by adding d, or ed at the present participle by adding ing. Present tense, apologize. Present participle, we have apologizing. Past tense, apologize. Past participle, apologize. Cheer, cheering, cheered, and cheered. Celebrate, celebrating, celebrated, celebrated. Irregular verbs, this form their past tense and past participle differently. For example, we have am, the present participle of am is being, past tense is was, past participle is being. We also have arise, arising, arose, arisen, bend, bending, bent, and bent, bite, biting, beat, and beaten. This is an irregular verb chart. We have the present tense, the past tense, the past participle. Become, becomes, became, become. Begin, began, begun. Blow, blew, blow. Break, broke, and broke. So on and so forth. Also talked about what an adverb is. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, and other adverbs. Gave examples of adverb modifying a verb. He drove slowly. How did he drive? An adjective, he drove a very fast car. How fast was his car? Another adverb, she moved quite slowly down the hall. How slowly did she move? An adverb chart. Adverb modifying adverb, adverb modifying adjectives, adverb modifying other adverbs. And lastly, we looked at the types of adverbs. Adverbs of manner, adverbs of time, adverbs of place, and adverbs of degree. Adverbs of frequency, and lastly, adverbs of interrogation. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned a lot. Please go back to your notes, read up on your notes, and attend to your assignments. I hope to do this soon again. Keep staying safe and bye for now.